How you doing, Prole? Wow, look at you guys. Come on in, there's plenty of room. You guys are still coming in. This is so exciting. What a gorgeous day, right? All right, come on, it's the morning. Did you guys have your coffee yet? Get fired up. We're going to have a fabulous day. Well, as you heard, I am Tana, and I'm so excited to be with you today. We have a wonderful lineup of excellent speakers, so we always kick our rallies off with a word of prayer. Would you please help me welcome to the stage Mario Lara.
Beautiful weather. God bless you guys. Let's pray. Our Father who is in heaven, we ask to you be with us here today at this morning. Give us wisdom and understanding so that not only the state of Iowa, but the whole country can see your truth and your decision over this upcoming election. I pray that everything that's said here can be to reaffirm our minds and that on November 8th we vote, not only for what is good for us, but what is good for you. Bless this meeting and give us guidance. In Jesus' name, amen. God bless
you. Thank you, Mario. And we will get started with the Pledge of Allegiance by Larry Hughes. Please welcome Larry.
Please remove your hats and we'll do the pledge. Thank you. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome, and now for our anthem, Brandon Lee.
You know what, I don't know if I'll need that. I'm supposed to come up here and sing the national anthem for you. I would rather sing it with you. Let's show this country what the heart of America is made of. Let's show what Iowa is made of. Let's make this country great again, starting right here. You too, Secret Service. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare was bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Keep it going for Brandon. Woo! That was awesome. I've been to a lot of these and nobody's ever done it that way, so that was really cool. He had an excellent voice. Too bad you couldn't hear it, but I could. It was a little intimidating to sing next to him. Well, anyways, I am so excited you guys are here. I can't tell you. I'm like beaming with enthusiasm. We're 5 days away from electing Donald Trump as our next president. I haven't been getting much sleep. The adrenaline is pumping. I've been with the man since the day he came down the escalator, and I am so honored and so humbled and proud to be a part of this team. I'll tell you one thing that I learned when Donald Trump cast me on his show The Apprentice 11 years ago. He changed my life for the better. He changed my family's life for the better. And I promise you, if you put your trust and faith in Donald Trump, he will change your lives, your kids' lives, and your grandkids' lives for the better. I promise you that. I learned so much from Donald Trump that I implemented it in my career, and it just boomed for me. But what he showed me was his heart. What he showed me was he genuinely cares about people. He cares about our veterans. How many vets do we have in the room today? Wow! Man, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much for your service. Donald Trump told me a long time ago, Tana, freedom isn't free. And when he said that, I was like, wow, nobody's ever put it that way. You're right. And he said, these are the brave men and women that have served our country, and I will take care of them when I'm the President of the United States. So I am comforted in knowing he will do that. And I've been privileged enough to be with him and be able to give over $500,000 to Iowa veteran organizations. So that was a blessing. But the one thing that I do know about Donald Trump is he knows how to spot and pick talent. And when Donald Trump chose Governor Mike Pence as his running mate to be VP of the United States of America, I went, oh my gosh, that could not be the more perfect pick. And I'll admit, I never knew Governor Pence prior to being, our VP pick, but I've gotten to know him. I've gotten to know First Lady Karen, their daughter Charlotte, and what a fantastic family. What a stand-up guy. Did you guys see what he did for the fallen officers yesterday, going and paying his respects? Unbelievable. You know, he didn't tell anybody about that. He never let any of us know because he said we're not politicizing fallen officers serving protecting us every day. It's about the heart. That's what these two men have, and I just am so excited. You guys are in for such a treat. But I want to let you guys also know you're in for a huge treat because our first speaker today is a friend of mine. You all will recognize this man. He worked at KCCI TV for close to 30 years, if not 30. He passed the baton off to my husband, Curtis Gertz. He not only is a famous broadcaster, he's a great guy, a Christian. He actually has flown me in his helicopter, plane, to numerous events, and he's also was the one who taught me how to shoot a gun and get my concealed weapons permit. So I think of John McLaughlin every day when I carry my gun to protect myself because this man believes in the Second Amendment. Give it up for my friend John McLaughlin.
All right, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here today. She already told you who I am. I'm John McLaughlin. Most of you know I'm a meteorologist, 31 years at KCCI. I'm a commercial pilot, flight instructor, and a pilot examiner for the FAA. Concealed weapons instructor, she told you that. More importantly, I'm a dad to two young Patriot boys who now live in Oklahoma, and I'm proud to say I'm a Christian. When Donald Trump came down that escalator you've heard about, my first call was to my best friend, the husband of Tana Gertz, and as two scientists, we talked about the upcoming Republican nomination. And I can tell you on that day, the two of us may have been the only two in the media to predict that day that Donald Trump would be the Republican nominee. How's that for a prediction? Now, let's hope the next prediction as president was just as good as that one. Okay, I've spent my entire career at Channel 8 looking out for all of you, watching the Doppler radar till all hours of the night, tracking tornadoes, downbursts, severe storms, lots of them right around here, St. Mary's, Prole, Indianola. Lived in Cumming for several years. That was my passion, my dedication to keep you guys safe. Wouldn't it be great if we had a Secretary of State who's now running for president who had that same passion about keeping people safe? There's that died in Benghazi that won't be casting absentee ballots this time around. Let's remember that when we go to the polls. There's some dark things coming up. I spent my career watching out for dark storms, but there's some other dark things we need to keep aware of. Climate change is not one of them. You heard about it throughout the campaign. We've got the debt, we've got joblessness across this country, illegal immigration, terrorism, and yesterday, the continued assault on our law enforcement. So right now, I'm going to say publicly, as a firearms instructor and a guy who's trained with the police, trained with the SWAT team here, trained with guys across this country, it's time us as citizens have the back of our law enforcement. Let's watch those things. I tell you what, if you're a concealed weapons holder, it's time to get training and carry your gun every day because a car makes a poor holster. Remember that. I do a lot of things. My family's involved in manufacturing up in Greene and Carroll County since 1971. We build garbage trucks, sell them all over the country. We employ about 300 people. We can barely get steel in this country now. In fact, my brother has to import steel from Sweden to make some of the parts on his garbage truck. I walked through that plant a few weeks ago, and you know what? The welders, the fabricators, the painters, the engineers, who do you think they want as president?
Trump!
The guy that's going to bring the steel manufacturing back to this country again. Amen. I also have flown about 8,000 hours over the last 20-some years, doing a lot of teaching. I've taught a lot of young service members before they go overseas to fly helicopters in Iraq, Afghanistan, many other places. And I just got a picture last August of one of the young men I did a flight instructor test for, and he got to fly Vice President Biden in a CH-47 helicopter that was manufactured somewhere in the early 60s. Okay, I was manufactured in 1963. And now we've got a kid that's barely 30 years old flying equipment that's older than us. How about a president who's going to make our military great again and get these men and women modern equipment? So the next vice president, who you're going to meet here in a little bit, gets to fly with my little friend, Johnny Tsunami's his name over there. He can hear about all the new stuff that's coming online that we're going to get. About a year ago, we went down to Tucson, Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. You know what's down there? They call it the Boneyard. It's the 309th Maintenance and Regeneration Group. And you'll see all these F-16s stacked up out there. You know what's happening to our F-16s? They're converting them into drones and blowing them up. Meanwhile, the 132nd Fighter Wing at the Des Moines Airport, 11 times voted as outstanding unit in the Air Force. And they take these guys who are the best of the best, the pilots who had multiple deployment overseas, and you know what? They say, we're going to take your planes away from the best unit, we're going to give them to another unit, you guys get to fly radio-controlled models. Tell you what, I've flown the F-16 and I've flown a lot of models. What do you think guys want to fly? So there are dark things facing our country. I'm proud to support Vice President Pence and Donald Trump to be our next president. And I'm proud to say that since the beginning I've been encouraging my friends, don't be critical. Donald Trump is a man just like the rest of us. Donald Trump is a sinner just like the rest of us. And we prayed that Donald Trump would be surrounded by godly men to come alongside. And we've got one of them here to hear from in just a little bit. And that's Mike Pence. Our prayers are being answered even today. So who out there is ready to make our military great again? Who's ready to make our manufacturing great again? And who's ready to make this entire country great again? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Support your law enforcement. I appreciate being here.
Give it up for my friend John McLaughlin. Woo! I wish we had 30 minutes for him to go on and on and on because he had great points. But the show must go on. Thank you so much, John. Now, for our next speaker, please put your hands together and help me welcome Iowa State Senator Julian Garrett.